Hello everyone and welcome to another Tech Tuesday. So this week we're going to talk about a student engagement tool. One thing that I've kind of figured out in my career is that students want, desire, need more engagement after hours than I sought and needed during my collegiate career. Students have grown up. They're used to being able to text each other, being able to get instant answers, and a lot of us have struggled. I have struggled tremendously with how to connect with students in ways outside of email and Canvas and other things. The biggest reason is because I don't want to give students my cell phone number. I know a lot of you guys do. You give your students your cell phone number and, hey, text me anytime. Well, maybe I'm overly cautious, but in today's litigious society, I just don't want students to have my cell phone number. I don't want anyone to be able to accuse any means of impropriety or anything like that. So for many years, what I would do for students to communicate with me outside of class was I would say, hey, here's a cell phone number. And I would create a new Google Voice number, which I would just delete at the end of every semester. But during the semester, they would have that Google Voice number, and all of the messages and everything that went through was recorded inside of Google. And you could go back, you'd have a record. If anybody ever had a question or said something, it was all right there in the record. But I think there's a new and better way to do this. And there's a free tool out there called Remind. So you see Remind right here. It's just www.remind.com is a free tool for the most part where we can engage our students, where they download an app onto their phone, you download an app onto your phone, you create a class, and then they can text you back and forth, and there's a record of this. You can send out messages to the entire class. You can schedule messages. You can do all kinds of things so you can communicate with your students without giving them your cell phone number. Most students are great, but what about that one student who you make mad and then, I will admit I did this a long time ago. I put up someone's cell phone number in at the time it was in a newspaper ad selling a Ford Explorer for really cheap. So the person I didn't like got a whole bunch of, actually it was not that I didn't like him, it was a practical joke, but they got a whole bunch of messages and text and phone calls about this Ford Explorer. A student could do that today. So with the Remind app, you have controlled communication, right? Everything's recorded and they don't actually have your cell phone number, but if you have the app on your phone and they have the app on their phone, it's easy. So one day in class, just have everybody download the Remind app, set up a classroom, have everyone connect. It's pretty easy to do. So one of the more common questions I get asked when I show tools is, what does it cost and what do you get? So Remind has a free account that you can set up, and you get basic messaging. You get some translation services. Honestly, I've never used them. You can set up 10 classes per account. And what I do is I set up 4 classes a semester. I keep it one semester in case there's any questions, and then I delete those 4. So I always have about 8 classes going, right? So you just delete the old ones and you can keep using it. And you can have up to 150 participants per class. Not a problem here at Barton. When I have taught at other schools and I had classes of 500-600 people, didn't work. I had to pay for the bigger app just because I needed it. But it's a great app. And what can you do with it? Well, here's a class that I've kind of got saved from a couple of years ago, and you're able to send out messages. You're able to send files. This student back in 2019 was asking me about the assignment that was due in Canvas, and just sent it to my phone. Because, my email goes to my phone, so I get a lot of emails, and sometimes I might miss it or ignore it. But if I saw the little Remind app and that icon pop up, I knew it was a student asking a question, and I was able to answer it. Also, you can have dark hours where it won't send it to your phone, where you can kind of black out your access so it doesn't ding at 3 a.m. when a student wants to send you a question. You can set it to, send all your messages at 8 o'clock or something like that. So it's not like that you'll be getting constant messages in the middle of the night. All right, so that's it. Remind, take a look at it, www.remind.com. Give it a try. It's free. Maybe you'll get better access if you don't like giving your students your cell phone number, or you've always been cautious because you didn't want to give them your cell phone number. This is another option. All right. Also, just a little bonus tip. You'll notice floating head today, no background, just one thing that we can do in the Seedle. So if you need recording videos, tips, other things, we have a lot of resources. please just send an email. Let us know. We'll be happy to help. Have a great day.